Hello, welcome back to my channel. My name is Olinda and this is Olinda's Artistic Oddities. I'm filming in my little art studio and I have a different angle because I'm gonna show you a few things that I've gotten recently. I know it's been a while since I've been able to give you an update, and if you don't already know that my art studio is in my closet, it's in my closet. There's a 3D printer over there, but yeah, so hi. So I know I need to do a sketchbook tour, and we will do a sketchbook tour, but first of all, I have some updates for you. So, number one, I got a new camera. So, I'm going on a trip to Europe next week, and I was asking people what camera they preferred for vlogging because my brother told me that I should definitely not just use my phone because my battery will die quickly. So I finally, after lots of research and reviews, I decided to pick up this little guy. This is a DJI, oh whoa, there we go, a DJI Osmo Nano, and it's super cute, super small, and it is magnetic, which is awesome. It also came with accessories. So it came with a little necklace to stick it onto, so it sticks on like really well. It came with a hat clip or a shirt clip, however you want to wear it. So it's this guy. You can angle it a few different ways, and it also came with like a little suction cup magnetic stand. So that's super exciting. I'm gonna switch the view to that little camera. But before we get into this video, I'm just going to go through some new art supplies I picked up recently. And if we have some time, maybe we can go through a sketchbook. Maybe not, I don't know. I don't want to make this video too long. It may just be art supplies, so we'll see. You might already know by the title. I don't know what it's going to be right now, but let's switch over to the new camera. All right, so hi, this is my new little DJI Osmo Nano. So it has a very wide angle view, and it's obviously not made for like the low light of my closet, but it is super cute because it is wearable. So I will swap over to the wearable view, but just a fair warning, my desk is a mess, okay? Alright, so here is the camera view from being like clipped onto my shirt. And here is my super ridiculously messy desk. I'm sorry with the angle of the video. I'm trying to adjust. There we go. So as you can see, you can see everything. Well, yeah. So this is my art studio. There's a lot going on here. I have recently picked up a whole bunch of new art supplies as per usual, but what I wanted to show you was some sketchbooks that I finished. I would like to get into at least one of them if we can, but this one is almost done. It's got 2 more spreads left to fill, here and here. So I'm going to put that one away. And I guess while we're on this topic of cleaning up this mess, recently I took a leatherworking class and I met someone new. I met another artist named Volta. She's amazing and she is a local Dallas artist. We took this leather class together, making this like traveler style journal cover. And this is honestly the first time I've really gotten into this style of journal. My really great friend from Houston, Reb, who also has a channel here on YouTube, she made me a little small pink one, which is super cute, and I actually keep that one in my bag. But I never really got the inserts. I only just used the paper that Reb gave me. But after making my own, I thought it was so fun, and I decided to make another one. So let me actually show you that one. So that is this little guy right here, which is full I made it last night. It's super cute. I love this style of leather, and I put little eyelets in it and a rainbow cord. I also put a little button on there. It's very pretty. Plus I filled it with a bunch of little inserts. So usually I use field notes pretty much everywhere I go. I had also recently bought this little planner, which fits perfectly in here. So I also have this little pocket. I have this one for my trip ideas, and then this is a little traveler's notebook for sketching, actually. So very, very cute, and it was a lot of fun to make. So I'm excited about this one because it's nice and small. So I'm going to put these aside. Oh, I'm dropping stuff. So I picked up, where is it? So I picked up this water bottle. I actually really, really like this water bottle. I know I normally use a little water cup that clips onto my bag. This one does clip on my bag too. The clip goes right here. I actually took it off, but I like it because it has a hard bottom, it has a hard top, and it has a really sturdy lid. There's water in here, and lately I've been carrying it clipped onto my bag with water in there, and I just dip my paintbrush in, and when I'm done, I just kind of pop the little lid back on and I can get going. But this is nice because I have so many nice paintbrushes, and I feel like I never get to really use them unless I'm at home, because I either have water brushes like this one that's over on this sketchbook, or I feel like I don't have time to pour out some water, set up the cup, and then if I have to go, I have to like dump out the water or figure out what I'm going to do with it before having to move on. This is awesome because I just pop the lid back on. So it's a really good purchase. Let me put this one aside. Okay, back to my phone camera because I felt like I was moving around way too much. But I will take these little attachments and put them away. So, water bottle. This is definitely going to come with me to Europe, and I will film a little video when I have decided what art materials I will take with me to Europe. I'll do a video of like the bag and everything. I do have the bag and I do have the water bottle, but I haven't decided what art supplies are going with me yet. So that will be decided soon, probably this weekend since I leave next week. Normally, whenever I go out and about, I have a black bag, but currently it has all my work stuff in it. So I've been using this one. I love this one. It's awesome. It has my water cup on there, the one I normally use, and it has some like hand sanitizer, and it's nice because it is both a sling bag that goes over your shoulders, but also turns into a backpack. So it's not the most comfortable backpack, I will say that, especially if it gets really heavy. But it does have little side pockets, which I like to put my water in. And sometimes I'll carry a little portable tripod in this pocket. And it fits pretty much everything I need. Sometimes I bring a lot more than that, but that's a me problem, not the bag. So if I am at work, I'm using this little bag. This is super dirty because I literally walk around my job with this bag all day long. It has just 2 pockets and it carries whatever I need for art supplies. Because I am an engineer, I don't usually have the most free time to make art, but when I can, I will. And then if I'm doing like a shorter, more, I don't know, local trip nearby to like a park or something, I like this one. This one has all my pins. This is like my original art bag that I would take everywhere with me. It's got space for pretty much everything, and I usually have some really cute, colorful straps attached to it. But right now it's empty. I have moved everything around, so also have this one, which I think just has a lot of brushes in it right now. I wanted to take this one to Europe, but it's going to be too big. It's going to take up too much space. And I don't really need it if I have the other bag that I will be taking. But we'll see. Yeah. So I just have brushes and I have some scissors, some tape, some water, pens, pencils, and then I have some other sketchbooks in here. It's not completely full, but it's getting there. That leads me to the little bag that I will be taking to Europe. It is so bright. It's like a little baby version of the one I use all the time, but it's not like, it doesn't seem like it's that small because it carries so much, but trust me, it is small. It's a small little guy. Right now I have a little portable charger attached to the back of it. It's nice because this one's actually really comfortable. I don't know how this one's more comfortable than the bigger one, but it is. It opens differently from the other one. The other one has a top zipper and it opens kind of like a bucket bag. And this one, I think, opens like the regular Kanken bags do. So kind of like that. So there's a lot in there right now because I took it all to my doctor's appointment. So, if there's anything new in here, yes. So I got a Hobonichi because of Volta. Volta told me I needed to get one and that they were like on sale. So I got one and it's super cute. I mean, yes, I'm starting halfway through, but I have all this other paper to draw on. So if you're an art girly, I think you know, like a planner, it doesn't matter if you're starting halfway through the year. You have all this paper to draw on, and it's really nice Tomo River paper, which I love so much. So that's a new guy right here. This one's not new. This is my gouache palette, one of my Stay Wets. I have two of these, like in this little size, and then I have a couple of the bigger ones. I also have this big palette that I made with lots of colors. I've been using it a lot. It has a lot of really beautiful like outdoor colors, so it's been great for natural environments. I have this little guy that I got in Toronto and I only started using recently to show Volta how I make some of my stamps, or like how I make some of my stamps. When I was trying to decide which camera to get, and just random doodles. Then I have this is not art related, one of the little tiny readers, the XTE Ink 3, the X3. I'm probably saying this completely wrong, but I love it. It's so cute. And I have it set to a larger font so that I'm not straining my eyes when I'm trying to read. It's actually like the same size font that I have on my regular Kindle, and I thought that this would be great going to Europe. So this will be featured prominently in my travel packing. So that one's super cute. Also, it's magnetic. If I wasn't filming with my phone, I would show you. It just sticks right onto the back, but I'm sure you've seen videos of them. They're amazing. Also in here, I have my handy dandy watercolor kit in the Altoids tin with 25 colors. Amazing. I have my little gouache palette that I filled, I don't know, I want to say over a year ago at this point, with Shinhan gouache, and it's still going strong and I still love it so much. This is probably like the second palette I ever made, and I love it. I use it all the time. I used it actually in this tiny little sketchbook. So I went out and I went to a car and toy museum, and I went and I had breakfast with Volta, and I used my tiny gouache palette and the tiny sketchbook. So this one is definitely going with me because it's so fun. It's so cute. Actually, Charlotta Hamilton got that one for me whenever I went to Oaxaca with her. I also have a bunch of various art supplies in here. I found these pencils, and I actually filmed a video talking about new art supplies recently, and I did talk about this one, but I'm going to talk about it again because I love it so much. This is a 7-color lead, like one of the rainbow pencils that I use all the time, the camel rainbow, but it also has a graphite end, so I love this pencil. It's awesome. I also have like my little wallet and my dirty watercolor wristband. I have my clip for my palette and a sharpener. Volta gave me this tiny cute little clip that goes super well with my tiny sketchbook. I also have a tiny watercolor palette, so I guess I can never carry too many. I also have some lip balm, a lipstick, and I made this little guy with some scrap leather from our leather working class. There's not much. I've just been cleaning my palette and putting it on pages, so there's not a whole lot in here, just random little nonsense doodles as well, but it's cute. I just wanted to make a tiny sketchbook, and I did. And I used some Fabriano watercolor paper that I had, and I just cut it down to size, and yes, it's adorable. I think besides that, I think that's all I really have in this guy, and it wasn't even completely full, so I can fit my sketchbook in here. I can fit a couple of sketchbooks in here, plus all the art supplies I need, plus I have my charger, I have pockets on the side. Yeah, this is gonna be my little travel bag, my travel art supply bag. I can even fit this one in here. Sorry, my hair keeps getting on my nose and tickling my nose. This is my little handy dandy pencil pouch. I've been using it for quite a while. It's very dirty, and again, the colors rarely ever change in here because I actually really like all of these colors, and I can't pull it all the way down for some reason. Something's getting stuck, but this fits in that little backpack too, which surprises me because even if it didn't, I would just clip it on and hang it because the little backpack has some great little loops on the back, so great for clipping things onto. All right, what else? Oh yes, I have some gouache. I'm gonna turn you guys onto a top-down view so that you can see my messy desk, not for that purpose, but so you can see the art supplies on it. Okay, we're gonna also, I'm gonna show you this package I got from Jackson's. I'm just like, I'm all over the place, I know, but I ordered some stuff from Jackson's. Art supplies, yay. Okay, so I mentioned that I finished several sketchbooks recently. This is not one of them. This is a new one. It has a sticker that I made when I was sick. I'll probably put this one in my shop because I actually really like that one. Yeah, and I have some charms on there because why not? I also have some super cool little pen clips and water brush clip, and it doesn't get in the way. Look at this, it's awesome. I can just open it right up to my fat cats. Yeah, thanks to Volta for telling me about these. I hadn't seen them. I live under a rock, so these are super cool. I love them. Let's put that there. So the finished sketchbooks that I have, let me move some stuff around. I have this one. We need to do a tour on this one. Just get it over with. I don't think I've done one yet. I have this one. Just finished this one recently. I have this one. I thought that I did a tour on this one. I guess I didn't. No, I guess I didn't. And then I have this one. And things are gonna start falling. Move everything carefully. I have this one. Oh my goodness. And then I have this one. Okay. All right. Those are all the ones that are completed. that we need to do a tour over. Oh my goodness. Sorry, I'm just picking up art supplies. I also, oh goodness, everything's falling. I'm gonna save my art supplies. I also picked up this little tiny watercolor palette with metallic colors. I was inspired by a piece of artwork that Volta had showed me that she did. I want to try and do it myself, but they're really pretty. And this was cheap. I think it was like $7, and I didn't think that that was too big of a deal to spend $7 to try out something new. Just in case I don't use it often. Yeah. I like that it has a little magnetic clasp right there. That's cool. I also got a candle when I was at the Contemporary Art Museum in Fort Worth, and I burnt the entire candle so that I could have a little tin to carry stuff in. Right now it's pretty empty. I just have like art hang party tape, a rainbow pencil, and a sharpener for my neocolors, but I will fill it up with other stuff. Okay, so I did pick up a little tiny camera like last year, or whenever, was it this year? Whenever these came out? I don't remember. This is really cute. I like this guy just to kind of hook onto my bag, but now that I have the other tiny camera, I don't know how often I'll use it. Who knows? I recently filled this big guy. I've been using this one. I think I showed you in a previous short when I did some plein air at a farm. Look at those colors. They're stunning and super bright. They're all Holbein gouache, and I love them so much. A lot of them are the Japanese colors, but yeah, they're really, really pretty. Not really a new thing, just maybe the colors, some of them are, but new to me. And actually, Holbein reached out to me, and they will be sending me some art supplies that will be arriving tomorrow. So I'll have to do a video on that whenever they arrive, because I have no idea what they're sending me, but it was incredibly generous of them to do so, and I thank them profusely. So, we'll get into this. So, I saw another artist on YouTube, Katie Moody, talking about these Knicker poster paints, and they are so pretty. She talked about how they were the ones that the Studio Ghibli used for backgrounds, and these are really bright, very pigmented, and we definitely need to make a painting together with them, but not today. They're also really heavy, but yeah, they're stunning. If I have some time, I will swatch them for you. I'm making so many promises, and I have no idea if I'll be able to keep all of them, unless you just want to sit and watch me go through everything for like an hour. This is not new. This is just my tin of Neocolor 2s that I carried around with me in an old cigarette box that I found at an antique store. I kind of love it. I love the design. This isn't new, and I actually think I talked about it in another video, but this is a set of granulating colors from White Nights. They're so pretty. This is also not new, but it's here, so let's talk about it. It's just some dried gouache that I sprayed recently with water, and they're just some really nice colors. I think that most of them are Holbein, but some of them are Schmincke gouache and Daniel Smith. It's quite dirty, I know. Now, these are new, as I drop everything again. These are new paint colors that I picked up at the Art Supplies store recently. When I mean recently, I mean like maybe a few days ago, honestly. And I picked up some pencils as well. So every time I go to the Art Supply store, I like to pick up a few colors from the Caran d'Ache Luminance range. Not this one, that's not new. Put that in there. So I have a little swatch booklet right next to me. I like to swatch out colors of pencils to see if I have any duplicates or not. I should probably just bring the swatch book with me to the art supply store, but I never think to bring it. And then all of a sudden, here I am at the art supply store, and I'm like, I don't know which colors I have at home. So I have a couple of dupes, but it's okay, because I can always give them to lovely art friends, or I can keep them as backups whenever I use the other ones down to little, you know, nubbins. So then I have this little guy. I got this one in Toronto, I believe. Yeah, I think it was Toronto. And I really like this one. It came with some really, really beautiful colors. They don't look as pretty, but whenever you swatch them out, they are really pigmented and very, very pretty. I love all the Roman Schmal paints that I've gotten recently. So I did keep them in there, and I added a few extras. And then as far as these two paints go, I picked up, I don't know how to say this one, but it's this brown color. Benzimida, it's a brown. It's like a translucent brown. Imperial Purple by Daniel Smith. I may already have this color, but I couldn't remember, but it's violet, and it's Holbein Gouache. This is Pale Wisteria, and it is Turner Watercolor. Aqua Blue from Holbein Gouache. Turquoise Green, also from Holbein, and it's gouache. I think I usually use Flame Red, but I've never owned the Cadmium Red colors in gouache from Holbein, so I picked this one up. And the standard Cadmium Red, which looks very orange to me. This color is just so bright, and I love it. But this is Turmeric by Turner Watercolors. Turner Acryl Gouache, but it's got the like sparkly multicolor sparkles and shine in it, and it's supposed to be like a black base, but I don't know when I'll ever use it. I just really liked it, and it was on sale. And then I picked up some more Daniel Smith. This one is Pyrrole Scarlet. I believe I already have this color, but I think I was out of it or about to run out. Permanent Yellow Deep. Another beautiful, beautiful yellow. New Gamboge, which I think I have in Holbein, maybe not in Daniel Smith, and if I do, I might be running out as well, because it's one of the colors that's inevitably in all my palettes. Spring Green in Daniel Smith. I think that I was also running low on this color. Fuchsite Genuine. I don't own this color, or didn't own it until now. So this is not like a repurchase. And it's really pretty. It's very shimmery. It's one of their Primatech or Primatech colors, where it's like made from minerals and stones. This is Schminke Super Granulating, and it is Forest Blue. It's very pretty. And I have some other paints that came from Jackson, so I'm going to get those. So I did already open this box from Jackson's Art, but I didn't open this yet. This is the Sea White Travel Journal, and it's a watercolor sketchbook. I've heard a lot of artists from Europe talk about them, the Sea White brand, and I figure I would try them out. Maybe it's one I'll actually take with me to Europe, which would be kind of ironic, but I also picked up another little mini metal box from Roman Schmal. I haven't opened this guy yet. I was waiting to do that one on camera for you guys. So this is the gold one, and it is so pretty. And it has a little divider, which I usually take out and then just add my own paints in there. But this is a really pretty one. I might take this one with me, actually. And then I got I think there's only like 2 paints in here. So this is Roman Schmal in Potter's Pink. This is Roman Schmal in, I want to say it's like Prisby Gray. I may be butchering that. And this is A Gallo Honey Watercolors in Copper Blue. I can't wait to swatch those out. I have not done that yet. And lastly, it was a very small order from Jackson's, but it was kind of pricey because of the A Gallo paints, honestly. But I got this set of A Gallo watercolors. It's their core set. So yeah, let's definitely swatch these out because I'm super excited to try them. Alright, so let's open up the Sea White Brighton travel journal. And see what the paper is like. Very nice cover. The paper feels nice and thick. It is 60 pages, 200 GSM. I don't know what not finish watercolor paper means, but I'm sure I can look it up. So let's just do it on this front page, right? Should we? Yeah, let's do that. And I have some clean water. I'm just gonna move it closer to me. So we're gonna move this over here. And we are going to start with this color, the Copper Blue. This is my first time using A Gallo watercolors. I'm going to use my little Escoda brush, which has seen better days, but I do use it quite a bit and in smaller palettes, so it's kind of getting a little frayed, which is sad. Right off the bat, this color is reminding me a lot of the color I like from Turner watercolors. It's like a super pale blue, just like this. It's very pretty. So that one is Copper Blue. And then we will open up this set of A Gallo core colors. I'll just clean my brush. So this comes in a beautiful little box, and we have Royal Yellow, Arancione, Permanent Carmine, Ultramarine Blue Dark, Phthalo Green, and Sartorio Red. So we're going to start with the Royal Yellow. Definitely not as watery as the Copper Blue was. Oh my gosh, that is super bright though. Let's see if I can get you guys a better view of that. So this is a gorgeous like lemon yellow, but it also has some warmth to it, which I love. I'm gonna mix those. It makes like a really nice green. It's really pretty. Dry off the paint. Next we're gonna do the Arancione, which is an orange. And that is definitely like a natural, like I don't want to say a burnt orange. It is definitely like a natural looking orange. I like it a lot. Very pretty. These colors are super pigmented. Then we have Permanent Carmine. This looks like a really nice cool red. Just gonna leave that one there to mix in with the next color, which is gonna be our beautiful ultramarine blue dark. I did add quite a lot of water to this one. We have Phthalo Green, which is one of my favorite types of greens. And Sartorio Red. Which just looks like a nice translucent brown. This is Roman Schmalz Potter's Pink. It's like a dusty rose looking pink. It's really pretty. And then we have the Presby Gray. Presby, however you pronounce it. It's a very, very nice gray with a lot of depth from like purple. So these are the colors that I picked up from Jackson's Art Supply, and I'm really happy with all of the colors. I think that they are super beautiful and pigmented, and I'm excited to see what other art supplies I end up coming across when I go to Europe. I didn't realize that the gray was kind of out of the frame, so I apologize for that one, but that's the Presby's Gray and the Potter's Pink. And I do remember that I actually swatched out the colors that are in the tray over here. I swatched them out in this sketchbook, so let me zoom out. So here are all those colors if you are interested, and those are actually the Nicker gouache or poster paints. So that's right here. All the other colors have their names written over them. Yeah, I'm really happy with the colors that I picked up recently. I am so excited to try them out in a palette and see which ones I end up taking with me. And there's the metallic shimmer colors that I picked up as well. Super pretty collection. Yeah. Alright, now that we've swatched out the paints, let's do a sketchbook tour. So this one was started December 23rd last year, and I started with my Neo arts, just kind of sketching and being very loose. And I was doing some more practice sketches with pencils and didn't like that one, but it's okay. This was me testing out some of the Rosa Gallery paints that I picked up when I was in Toronto, and I love them so much. This was a still life in my friend's kitchen. She had a basket of onions and apples, and this was all with the Rosa Gallery watercolors and some of my Derwent Inktense pencils on top. I actually really like how this one came out. This was me playing with just some more of the paints and some markers. This was a art hang party. We did a replay as a family, and it was a lot of fun. And again, I was using a lot of the Rose Gallery watercolors because I was just so in love with them. This was an oil pastel that I was just kind of having fun with because I decided I needed to use my art supplies, and I don't use my oil pastels enough. And yeah, I like how this one came out. Same with this one. I think it was the same day, and I was just using those oil pastels. Some more of the Rosa Gallery with some marker on top. These are the Kuretake brush pens. They're like art brush pens, and they have really pigmented colors. This was on my trip to Los Angeles, and I was just trying to do an urban sketch, like scene at a restaurant. I didn't finish it because our food came. We were in Los Angeles for a Gilmore Girls event, so naturally I tried to sketch them out as fast as I could, and I used some gouache. This was one of my new, this is one of my new acrylic gouache sets. I actually really like how this one turned out. This was a reference photo from one of my books of Sweden. It's really, really pretty. This was Rosa Gallery watercolors, and I was just experimenting with scenery and leaving white space. I have a membership to the Dallas Arboretum, and I like to go super early in the morning, and this was one of those days. It was really cold out, it was winter time, but I wanted to go and paint what plants I did see alive. Or not dormant. I was reading a book about Greek mythology, so Minthi and Adonis, and then I was just forcing myself to practice some loose sketching every day. So I went to a coffee shop with my friend, and I told myself that I didn't need all of my art supplies, I could just bring a pen. This was just like a loose watercolor sketch of a building that I ended up painting, I think, on the next page. And this is when I started the Artist's Way. And so I really had a lot of fun. I did this as my first artist date. I went to a historical part of my town and sketched out the little buildings there. This is some more oil pastel, just being messy and free, and then using some new techniques. New for me. And then of course just more scribbles and sketches and oil pastel. This was a art hang party that we had at our house. We call it Art Hang Party 2, but it is not officially Art Hang Party. It's not Melissa Martin's official party. We just borrow the name, but we did this one for pictures of Oaxaca, actually from Charlotte Hamilton and from the internet. We were searching around for some photos, kind of getting excited for our trip to Oaxaca. So, more Rosa Gallery paints. I was, of course, loving them, and this is all Rosa Gallery paints again. I went to a music bingo night at a local pub and took my ex-husband. I really like how this painting came out of the church in Oaxaca. This is more Rosa Gallery. These paints are just so pretty. Just some sketching. I think I was feeling really burnt out from forcing myself to try and make really good art every day, and I wasn't doing such a good job, so I was just kind of having trouble. This is a lot of just like, my art was not making me happy, but I was still trying. This was swatching out some new paints. I don't know what new paints, but this is when I was actually teaching my friend how to do quick sketches of people's faces with whatever colors you have on hand. So I had some super bright gouache colors, and yeah, it was actually a lot of fun. Some ink and watercolor, Neocolor 2s, and some colored pencils and some pens. And then, of course, the Rosa Gallery paint again with some beautiful granulation. Again, I was kind of struggling during this time with my art. I think because it was reflecting like my work troubles at the time. I was having a lot of busy days at work. So this was just some highlighter drawings and then sketching with watercolor to show a friend or a family member, I can't remember who, that you didn't really need pen, you could just line with watercolor. This was for an art hang party for my ex-husband's birthday. He always has a Mardi Gras themed birthday because his birthday is in the season of Mardi Gras. So I picked a bunch of photos and we had a lot of fun, which ironically then Melissa Martin had a New Orleans or Mardi Gras themed actual art hang party later after this, and she did use some of the photos that I chose, so that was cool. Just some random doodles, paint doodles. This was an art party game that I made up with some random little prompt ideas. We had a lot of fun with it. This was like the draw it big. This was like drawing it with different time constrictions, and this was draw with your left hand. This was negative space, and this was draw with both hands, like a kid. It was a lot of fun. It was part of our game. These are just watercolor, and it was an idea that we had, but I never fleshed it out fully. These were some of the markers that I got for Oaxaca that I actually took with me. And this is the actual art hang party from Melissa Martin. Came out really cool. I really like the watercolor. Again, this was definitely like, I was using a lot of watercolor in this sketchbook. And this is a Royal Talon sketchbook that people are always like, very adamant about don't use watercolor, but I do, and I don't care. It's all just for fun, and this was just, I wanted to use my colored pencils. I don't use them very often. This was an artist date I took myself out on, and this was, I think, with the Rosa Gallery, but it actually could be with this Roman Small palette, because I do remember using some of the colors from this. This is more from the artist date day that I took myself on. This was a night I couldn't sleep, so I started looking at Map Crunch references. And then a portrait I drew in pencil. Just some nonsense scribbles. This was on the road. Again, we were on the road and I was just kind of scribbling as fast as I could. Same with this, but with watercolor. We went to a bookstore and a coffee shop, and I actually really like how this one turned out. I was struggling a lot with my ink and watercolor washes before this, and I feel like it started to come together in this one. This was a portrait practice with just watercolor, no line work whatsoever, and I like how it came out. Some warm-up sketches when I was at the old city park in Dallas. That's how that one turned out. Some more quick sketches, and then I was trying to just draw some silly ideas out. Some more practice sketches. Whenever I don't know what to draw, I try to do like a self-portrait, which this one turned out super weird. I look like the girl from the Princess Diaries, like her friend. I really like how this came out in colored pencil, and this was nice too. This is when I became obsessed with the idea of painting night scenes, and I was trying to figure out how to do that. And when I don't know what to draw, I tend to draw trees because I'm not very good at them, but I'm trying to get better. Clearly a day where I just couldn't art. This was actually really fun. I took my little tin of Neocolor 2s, and my friend was driving, and I started sketching cars that I saw as fast as I could. I like how this one came out. This was actually, this color was from me cleaning a palette. I had just cleaned out my palette and put it all over these pages, and one day Katie Moody was like, draw what's in front of you, it doesn't matter what it is, don't clean it up, whatever. So I did, and I actually really like how it came out. It kind of brought me some life, and I felt like I was starting to get over my burnout slump. And then I struggled some more. This is definitely like a struggle book. Most of it is struggle. And then we have some nicer pieces like this one. I took myself on an artist date, and for some reason the days I took myself out, the art just flowed well. So I like this one. This was another artist date. I took myself to a bar and decided to just have a sketch. I was watching TV one night and I just had my gouache in front of me, and I was like, man, I've been doing so much watercolor and no gouache. So let's break out that gouache again. So I did gouache and I used my colored pencils again. Really trying to focus on using the art supplies in this book for sure. more pencil and watercolor, some mixed media, and I actually really like how this one turned out. The Capitol building in Austin, Texas, with watercolor, and I want to say it's colored pencil, like the Derwent, maybe. This is actually when I broke my jaw, so it was all very facetious, but yeah, face was quite swollen. And my self-portrait of me with cotton in my mouth to stop the blood. This was me just sketching as we were driving. I actually like this little fish right here. This is when I was really not feeling well because I had broken my jaw, so I was just kind of sitting there and doodling. I actually really like how all of these came out. And this is when I started my new position with my same company. I like these. These are with my little gouache palette, and I think I had a watercolor palette too. And that's pretty much the end. Yeah, that was a quick one. And then I just have some random ephemera in here and a reminder to myself. Treating myself like a precious object will make me strong. And I finished this one on March 23rd, 2026, after starting it on December 23rd, 2025. So that is it for this one. I think my favorite part of this one is actually the laser engraving that I did on it and then filled with gold. I thought this was so pretty, and I don't know why I haven't done it to more sketchbooks, but this is like my favorite part. Plus my little strawberry sticker that I made. But yeah, that's it for this guy. This is sketchbook number 34. And that is 1 out of 6, so we have 5 more to go, but I'll be making some separate videos for those because I think I have dragged you along for long enough. So that's it. I hope you guys enjoyed seeing all of the new stuff, and I will see you in the next one. Bye.